On this week's episode of BJ in the Morning, we're going to talk about the weirdest conspiracy theories out there. Let's go. Welcome to BJ in the Morning. I'm Juan.
I'm Brendan.
And I don't even know what episode this is anymore.
I don't either.
It's
in the 30s.
We're making our way downtown, walking fast.
Faces passing.
And I'm homebound.
And we're homebound.
I
was going to say, we're not really like walking fast. We're in our 30s.
We're not walking fast at all.
My ankle hurts for no reason. My shoulder hurts for no reason.
Knees are falling apart.
Every time I stand up, I go, ugh.
Here's the thing.
Every time you sit down, you go, ah.
Exactly. You know, I did that at work, and my legs were really sore from Taekwondo practice.
Yeah.
And I got up from the break room. I was like, you know, like I didn't even realize I was making that like that loud of a noise.
Yeah.
But it was like my legs were so sore. And then one of the older guys was like, "You okay? You're moaning and groaning over there." I'm like, I didn't know how to explain it, you know, so I was just like, leg day. He's like,
See,
bang.
My favorite is you ever go to stand up and your knees just go.
Somehow your legs are fucking like this.
I love being in our 30s.
But the worst part is, and this is recent, especially because like my birthday.
Yeah.
I don't know what the deal is. Like I'm approaching.
As of today. Of recording.
Is it after my birthday at this point?
Yeah.
Okay, so I am 31 now.
Hi, future.
But
it's the magic of editing.
I've gotten hurt like every week.
Yeah.
Every week there's been something wrong. Like that, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, whatever it was, my legs were sore.
Yeah.
And then when that finally went away, I had a spider bite on the inside of my thigh, which I told you about.
Yeah, terrifying.
Still there, but doesn't hurt anymore.
The spider's still chilling too.
Yeah, he's like
he's
probably
just made
fucking burrowed some eggs in there, dude.
Just waiting for him to hatch.
He's just like coming out of my legs. Anyway, I had a spider bite. I couldn't even walk because it hurt so bad.
Yeah.
And then that pain finally went away. And then I fucking dropped a door handle on my foot.
Yeah.
Cut it open. Thought I needed stitches.
You didn't.
Turns out I just had to let the blood crust up in there.
You mean scab over? like cuts and wounds are supposed to do?
Yeah.
Crazy.
What's it gonna be next week, dude?
Broken pinky finger.
Think so?
Yeah, I'm going for pinky.
Don't put that on me. I work with my hands, dude.
Don't put that evil on me,
Don't
Ricky
put
Bobby.
that evil on me.
No, dude, I understand kind of. There's weeks ever since I turned 31, especially at work. We use a lot of like hot equipment, like hundreds of degrees, 500 degree equipment, you know, ovens and presses and stuff. I went a full 5 years without burning myself. And in the span of like 3 weeks, I burned myself on the oven, the dough press, the dishwasher, like everything. And then this last week of work, every time I grabbed a cutter, I would let go randomly and the blade would just fling around and like get me in a knuckle.
Just nick you.
And I'm not even kidding. Like I'll like show you in more like, I'll like, here, look at my hands later. But there's just little cuts all over my knuckles.
Little cuts or little scars?
Little cuts. There's
see.
scars definitely from burns.
I see one right there.
Yeah, dude. Yep. Yeah. Just from going to grab it and just my body said, we don't need this. And then next thing I know, I'm like fumbling.
Yeah. You know, people ask me like, what's it like being in your 30s? And like my go-to answer is like, I'm fucking thriving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've never had my shit together more in my life.
Uh-huh.
You know? I'm feeling good.
I did when I was not 18 yet. Because I didn't have any worries, any cares.
So it's like, hey, I got a good job. I got a podcast. I'm active. I'm able to be active. You know what I mean? Like, I'm thriving. But I feel like 31 is just like the tester.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
31 and your body's like done.
Yeah, something out there in the universe is just like, are you sure?
I saw this thing, though, that it was like the life expectancy of humans back in the day was 30.
Yeah.
So as soon as you turn 30, your body's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Hey.
You were supposed to be done.
The brakes.
You were supposed to be done right now, bud. But you're still going. You're still kicking.
Yeah.
No, but it's true. Like, being in your 30s is a test.
Yeah. Are you sure you're thriving?
You know how good things were 2 years ago? Are they still?
Yeah. So, yeah, that's just, that's my life lately. I've just been hurting myself.
The other cool thing about being in your 30s is other people who are 30 and above, I feel like they talk to you more about random shit. Like, any old person that comes in, old dudes especially, if they come into work, they're like, oh, it's a scorcher out there. And I'm like, There's
like this weird like level of respect.
Yeah, they're just like, they feel it. There's like a sense about it. They're like, oh, you're not a kid anymore.
Like something that they would never really spark a conversation with a younger person.
Yeah.
They do it with
politics.
You. Yeah.
Oh, the weather. Oh, the economy.
How are your bowels?
But like the craziest ones lately, and I don't know if this has happened to you, but like, especially after we did our conspiracy theory episodes, I've been getting a lot more people, old white dudes especially, who are just like, have you heard about this thing going on? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And everyone is talking about aliens.
Yeah.
Because there's more and more like stuff coming out about like, they're not called UFOs anymore.
Yeah, UAPs.
It's unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Yeah.
And then more TikToks on my page are about like being a dad in your 30s, and I'm like, shit. And then my favorite one lately too has been put the Vans away and get some New Balances.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shit. So my TikTok feed and just random conversations have all been, do your bones hurt? Do your muscles hurt? Do you believe in aliens? The weather is weathering, and economy and politics.
And are you a dad?
Are you a dad? Shout out to all the dads out there.
Shout out.
Shout out to all the dads out there.
Shout out.
Shout out. Are you still rocking Vans, dads? Are you rocking the Vans, the khaki shorts, the dad hats?
I mean, with us millennials, though, like, do we have to get New Balances? I don't think so.
Some of those New Balances, though, are looking kind of sick.
Yeah.
I bet you they're comfy.
I bet you the Vans are going to be the New Balances.
I did just get Dr. Scholl inserts for my work Vans.
Nice.
And let me tell you, my feet stopped hurting in certain places and started hurting in others. So I don't know if that's a win or not. But it was either that or spend $100 on like shoes built for standing up all day.
Right.
Because I work like 10-hour shifts at a minimum, and I'm on my feet all day on concrete floors. So the Vans.
I know, like, your feet might get hot, like, if you are wearing your shoes for a long time, but I wear boots.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm on my feet all day too. My feet do not hurt when I get home from work. Mm-mm.
I'm gonna have to check out them boots then.
Yeah.
They were made for standing. These boots were made for standing on concrete floors.
These boots were made for standing. And that's just what they all do.
You went to Goofy again.
These boots are gonna stand. They're gonna stand all over you.
I'm so off topic now.
Well,
but you know, we're chilling over here with our Vans Warped Tour tour water.
Heck yeah.
Cheers. We're abandoning all hopes of Arizona tea reaching out to us. So Monster and Vans and Warped Tour, if you're listening, we're down for a sponsorship if you want.
And bring Warped Tour back. Not to Arizona, though. We'll travel.
We'll travel, yeah. Or just do it in the winter.
When we went to Warped Tour in Arizona, we were fucking miserable.
I think there was a large portion of the day we were miserable. And then when all the good bands started playing in the covered area,
Yeah.
the ones that had the huge, gigantic fans and everything, we were fine.
It was a little better.
And then when the sun went down, even better.
Perfect.
But yeah, bring Warped Tour back. And if you're going to add Phoenix as a stop, do it at the, like, very beginning of spring.
Do it
or
in
the very
October.
end. Yeah, like October. Let's get a Warped Tour winter edition.
Halloween edition.
I'd be down for that. But we're not talking about Warped Tour today. We're not talking about vans. We're not really talking about being in our 30s, even though we keep mentioning it. So I feel like we got to just make an episode eventually about being in our 30s.
My birthday just passed.
Missed opportunity. Good job, us. And if you wanted to support Juan for his birthday or anything, we don't have like a Venmo or anything. But check out our links in like Instagram. There's a place there you can just like send him $5.
I'm gonna put online. It's my birthday. Buy me a drink.
Do it.
You know how people do that?
Yeah, we'll make a Cash App just for the podcast or something.
Like the IG models when people like send them thousands of dollars.
I don't remember if it was it was a video I saw or a conversation I was having, but it was just some dude who couldn't make rent that month. Like it was coming up and he wrote on the back of his car, like, girls trip, like buy us a drink on his car. And he made rent.
Really?
Yeah. So
Dang.
these are ideas to have.
What a hustler.
TikTok's full of good ideas and it's also full of really crap ideas.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
But we should try that one someday. Because how funny would it be? It's like buy us a drink at BJ in the morning. It could be good. Could be good.
Well, Brendan.
Well, Juan.
What we're here to talk about today is weird conspiracy theories.
That's weird.
And I know we've talked about conspiracy theories a lot, but we do love a good conspiracy theory.
I think everyone loves a conspiracy theory because it's like it breaks the mundane, like the goings on of your life.
Yeah, and it makes you think different, like differently than like your everyday life. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what I said.
Right.
Right. So we're on the same page.
In layman's terms.
It was so funny just how perfectly the same it was.
I'm just like...
because we're talking about how things are mundane.
Yeah. I'm just like the
boring.
slightly dumber version of you. And
No,
I'm
mundane's not a tough word.
No, but I'm
just didn't want to use that word.
I suppose. Anyway.
So yeah, but conspiracy theories. Weird ones.
Yes. So like what sparked this, me wanting or us wanting to talk about conspiracy theories again. And it's different. It's different than the other ones we've talked about. But have you heard of Project Bluebeam?
Project Bluebeam?
Project Bluebeam?
Blue bean. Like I'm picturing that big silver bean. You know what I'm talking about? Where's that at? In like Cleveland? Chicago? Is it
Detroit?
Chicago? One of those. But I'm picturing a blue one.
No.
Okay.
It's not a bean.
Not a bean.
It's beam.
Beam with an M.
With an M.
Okay. Pam.
Yeah. The N is silent.
The N is silent. Project Bluebeam. Okay.
Pound.
So just by the sound of Project Bluebeam, my brain first goes to the Blue Man Group.
Okay.
That's it. That's where it stops.
So what kind of conspiracy theory would you get from the Blue Man Group?
Okay, so from the Blue Man Group, what I would say is that the Blue Men Group, because there's multiple, right? There's different people who play the Blue Mans.
Blue Men's.
The Blue Men's. So my theory is that anytime you see the Blue Man Group live, it is actually different people every single time, but they're always all the time the Blue Man Group, Are you following? Are you following? Do I need to slow down?
You're good.
So if you see the Blue Mans in California 10 years ago or today, it's the same ones. And then if you saw them in Florida 10 years ago or today, it's the same ones that you saw 10 years ago today, right? But so every state has their own Blue Man group. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
And they've had the same Blue Man group since the beginning of time. But every year they all meet in the middle, like Montana or something. Not really the middle, but So there's just a group. I think there's 3 Blue Mans in every Blue Man's group, right? 3 or 4.
I have no idea.
But there's 50 teams of 3 to 4 Blue Mans who meet up in a field to sacrifice the weakest one. Blue blood must be spilled in the fields of Montana once every year. So eventually they'll all be replaced, but the strongest Blue Mans will reign supreme until the end of time. The end.
Did you just make that up?
I did just make all this up.
Well, that's not it.
Damn, but that would be fucking crazy.
The Blue Beam Project.
The Blue Man's group.
Back on track.
Sorry. Just reel them on in.
The Blue Beam Project is a conspiracy theory that's been around since the 90s.
Same with the Blue Man group.
Cool. So it's been around since the 90s, but it fades out and then it comes back.
Okay.
And then fades out and then comes back. So essentially what the Blue Beam Project
You almost said
is.
Blue Man group, huh?
Yeah. Is the government's plan for a new world order to get the population of the people in line to do what they want, to do what they say, and all that. Okay? So, one variation of the Blue Beam Project
Now you're almost saying Blue Bean
is
Project.
coronavirus.
Okay.
And that was a theory of people thinking that the government created the coronavirus to scare people, so people will listen to them, people will stay home, people will stop buying shit that they don't need.
Toilet paper.
Yeah.
Stay home, buy toilet paper.
And get vaccinated.
No, and we heard a lot of that during 2020, 2021.
Yeah.
It was 2 sides, right? It was that the government created this to keep everyone in line, and B, everyone's getting sick and dying. We should get vaccinated and do something about it
and be worried.
stay home.
Yeah.
So it was fear and worry.
So that is a version of what people thought was the Blue Beam Project.
So there's probably instances throughout, since you said the 90s, that there's always been some kind of event going on that people are like, that's the Blue Beams.
That's it. But what is sparking the Blue Beam conspiracy now is
the BBP.
What's that?
Blue Beam Project.
Blue Beam. Got it.
BBP.
Got it. So what's sparking that now is that recently they have submitted for UFO or UAP documentation to be declassified.
Okay.
Correct?
There's a lot of that going on, yeah.
Right? And
I heard it from some random dude in a trucker hat.
Yeah, and apparently it has officially been submitted.
Okay. The people from Blue Beam or just in general?
No, just in general.
Is there a team?
The government has submitted
okay.
to declassify this information, which is apparently true.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
There's a lot more instances being released from the government lately.
Yes.
And it has been going on since 2020.
Yeah.
Because around the same time that everything started shutting down was when they started releasing UAP, the phenomenons declassifying instances of these things going on.
And then apparently there's supposed to be some sort of like official meeting about UAPs and doing all that. And now we got Congress people coming out and demanding this information because allegedly there has been more and more sightings as of lately of UAPs.
Have you watched any of the Corridor Digital's debunking of UAP videos?
No.
It's really interesting because there's a lot. They've done a lot of them where I'm like, that's real, and then they talk about how it's not real. And it's just they're making content out of all these like videos being released and these documents being released and everything like that, that are just kind of debunking a lot of these unidentified object videos, you know, the UOVs.
UOVs.
And a lot of them, you'd be shocked. A lot of them are like so clearly like faked after you see like, oh, they did this with this setting in Premiere or this setting in DaVinci or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And it's wild, dude.
Well, I believe that I believe like there is no way that we're the only species in the entire universe that is so fucking massive.
Yeah.
But also it's hard to believe the things that you see and the videos that you see. So I'm also on the side of that's gotta be fake. And if it's not, then what the F, you know? So, with all this going on as of lately, as of recently,
well, real fast before you go to the next step, with the videos and everything, like all these documents being released, everything like that, they're strikingly similar kinds of videos. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of these, there are videos out there on YouTube of like, oh, UFO sightings, blah blah blah, where you just see the thumbnail of it and you're like, fake. And then there's the ones where you actually stop and click and you're like, this could be, but it's always like a dot far away that moves real quickly. It's always the same kind of shitty like camera from 2007.
It's never any clear footage or
and then the other thing is too, it's like, do you remember the one from, I think it was Vegas a couple months ago? I swear, like, when I watched that, I was like, those are spotlights from one of the casinos on clouds. You know? Like, these, they're not hard to, like, look at and figure out, like, oh, let me debunk this because this thing is this way and that happened to make this happen. So, but I agree with you. Like, there's no way in hell. There's no way in the universe that we're the only, like, intelligent life forms. Who are in this stage of life or beyond. You know what I mean? It just makes me think of that, like, that little Dicky video, the Pillow Talk. Like, how come we couldn't just be no side project for this guy? We could have been, or we could have been the project, and then side projects happen if you believe in, like, the religious aspect of things, or that aliens have visited our planet to help create pyramids and everything. Why aren't they here now? It made no sense.
We need some help, dude.
It makes no sense.
So, with those, official meetings of people demanding,
I need videos.
I need to see. They have video. They have pictures.
They have a body in Roswell. They have a body in Area 51.
All of UAP, UFO information.
I need to know what's in Area 49, 48, 47, and 2.
And then there was a video of this congresswoman that was even claiming that it's like a national threat or whatever. I don't know the exact term that they use, but like something we should be worried about. Okay. So now, with all that happening, here comes spring back up the Blue Beam Project conspiracy theory, which is that the government is going to fake an alien invasion.
Okay.
To induce fear on the people. And on top of that, this is already crazy, right? On top of that, they're going to fake some sort of God or Messiah or somebody to come in and save us from the aliens, to abolish all religions, to abolish all religions, and to control the people based off of this God that everyone now is allegedly going to believe in because they've seen it.
So, like Superman.
Sure.
Yeah, like
yeah.
that's what I'm picturing. Like,
they're gonna be saved, but then also
Homelander.
this God. This is another part of the theory, is that this God or spirit or whatever it's gonna be is capable of starting natural disasters because the humans are so like bad that they will use natural disasters to get everyone in order.
And this is a thing that people believe?
I don't know. All I know is that it's been a theory that I've heard a lot about in the last couple weeks.
So do you think like this is one of those things that the algorithm started picking up after we were researching other
possibly
conspiracy theories? But also that gets you thinking too, like this is another conspiracy theory. All these random dudes that have been talking to me about conspiracy theories that I've just been meeting, are they part of the algorithm? Are birds even real?
So, as crazy as this theory sounds, what would you say, like, let's say this all comes to fruition and we see fucking aliens. And
finally,
let's say it's real.
Yeah.
Right? Let's say it's real. Now, everyone who is on the Blue Beam Project train, they're going to be like, fucking fake.
Told you so.
What is this?
Yeah.
What is this? And then, like, the alien comes down and is like, nah.
Mars attacks aliens. Yeah.
With their little guns. It's like, look at this. You know, they think it's going to be a hologram or something. It's like,
and they're done. They're done. So the people who don't believe this conspiracy theory are the ones who are running and hiding and what have you.
Yeah.
So if this happened, if this was to happen, they're expecting some like Jake Gyllenhaal style fucking
Mysterio.
Holograms.
Yes.
You know, we don't have anything like that we know of available.
And that's the problem. Is that
like I'm picturing like the ghost of Tupac is like coming around, like that kind of hologram. That's like the pinnacle of our hologram technology right now, you know? Like, oh, the Michael Jackson hologram, the fucking Tupac
Well,
hologram.
I mean, they do like at football games and shit, they do like crazy holograms for that. Have you seen the one of the Panther like running around on the fucking stadium?
No.
Yeah, there's like one. I don't know if it's like in live, you know, like you're watching it and the Panther's running around, or if it's just a video. But so I've heard that's a hologram.
Okay.
And it's like a big old panther comes out and it's like on the field, and then it's like jumping on the fucking bleachers and shit.
But how?
I don't know.
It's like
I don't know.
Were all the lights on still in the stadium?
Yeah, it was daytime.
It was daytime.
Yeah.
Okay, so if the NFL and the government have this technology, they're obviously in on it together.
Yeah.
This is just to sell more Super Bowl tickets.
Right. So if they do have this technology to fake an alien invasion, then we start seeing holograms of the alien starships in the sky. I mean, it's pretty far-fetched.
Yeah.
If you ask me. I don't think this is a thing. I think it's interesting to see how other people think and how crazy people's imagination can get.
Yeah. Because that's what it is.
Because like the alien invasion in itself is crazy, but also believable that like the government would do that. I feel like, you know what I mean?
Some government out there, you know?
Like not talking about the holograms, but like, oh, we found something in the space.
Yeah.
We found something flying by the moon, and it
by the moon?
We found something by the moon, and it was flying by really fast.
Oh, dude, that was just a slice of pizza, my guy.
And it sent us a message saying,
more cheese, please.
It was sending you stupid mother cluckers.
Oh, it's chicken?
We are coming. Be prepared.
And then Pizza the Hut comes down.
Pizza the Hut.
Rains terror and pepperoni.
That'd be sick.
It'd be greasy.
But anyway, like, I can almost believe that they would do something like that. Mm-hmm. But then these conspiracy theorists add the whole, you know, Lord and Savior faking of the Lord and Savior coming and demolishing all the aliens.
Yeah. Homelander, Omni-Man, Superman.
Anybody. Jesus.
So my biggest thing is like
Jesus Christ.
So again, going back to like a couple years ago when everyone was saying the government was behind everything all the time. My biggest question has always been like, why would the government want to do this?
I don't know, and I guess it's all to just,
entice fear.
Yeah, entice fear, and if you're scared, you'll listen.
But also,
we already know works though.
But also think about it like this, like, going to like the I was trying to think of another word besides the P word, just in case we want to like put this out there anywhere. For 2020, the panini, the porcelain doll, the pancake, the pandemic. During all of that, you made no facial expression, so I was like, "Are you getting what I'm putting down?" But during all that time, everyone was saying like, well, all these people, they're listening to the government, like they're gonna get sick, they're gonna do all this, like they're listening, they're following the rules, and then all of us who aren't following the rules, like we're doing the right thing, like blah blah blah, like we're gonna survive, we're gonna be strong. But wouldn't the government want the people who don't listen to the government out and the people who do listen in? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if everyone who followed the rules and like listened to the things that came out about the government all the time, all forever, right? If everyone just paid attention to the government would have no reason to like send a fake alien invasion our way, right?
Right.
Because in this hypothetical world that we're describing with the blue beams, they want complete total dominance over the population of not only the country but the world, right? New world order. So they want people to fall in line in this hypothetical world where this conspiracy theory comes from and where the problems with the panini happened and things like that, right? Like, where does that leave us
if this happens and they have full control?
What do they get out of it?
What do they get? They get, I don't know. I really don't.
Yeah. What do you think it would like? Because you can go back in time and like talk about like the book 1984 and like everyone's always watching. Big Brother's always watching. Everything's monetized now. There's ads that play on your fucking toaster when you're making toast. Like, you can look at like the the dystopian future worlds of like Ready Player One or anything like that too, where it's like the government has majority control. There's always people who are going to try to stop it.
Yeah. But okay, so let's say this does happen. It's real, and they have majority control. It's the idea of like how people say that most governments want it to be a dictatorship rather than a democracy. But how do you have a dictatorship without the people feeling like it's not a dictatorship?
Right. No, because it changes, right? Like a dictatorship is like, I don't know, we don't really need to get into like that kind of social studies lessons, but like, no, complete and utter control. If the government is looking for that, they could do it without all this bullshit. You know what I mean?
I mean, I feel like you're right. I feel like, but then there are laws against doing stuff like that, though.
True. But they're also the government. So if they wanted to do all this stuff, they could, right? I don't know. This whole Blue Beam project, the BBP, sounds like you said, far-fetched. It sounds ridiculous. It sounds utterly insane, and it sounds like the plot of like a movie.
Yeah, that would make a great movie.
Yeah, definitely. And it's probably, I mean, if you think about it, that's Avengers. Like, that's the Superman movies. That's the Justice League movie. It's some scientists who work for the government went a little too far. Aliens invaded Earth, and the superheroes that no one really paid attention to before came together and saved the planet.
Independence Day.
There you go.
Done.
We solved it. So again, then the question is, does this conspiracy theory stem from the movies, or did the movie stem from the conspiracy theory? Because if the conspiracy theory, I think it said something about it in the video we watched, where it was like, what if they put the conspiracy theories into movies so it all seems less crazy? You're like, oh yeah, this was in a movie, that's never gonna happen, and then it fucking happens.
Yeah.
So this is me with my can opener. Can of worms.
Big old can of worms.
Big old can of worms. So yeah, dude, the world's crazy. People come up with a lot of crazy things.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of conspiracy theorists, the people who come up with the conspiracy theories more so than the people who just believe them, should probably start writing for like, I don't know, Black Mirror, Twilight Zone, do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
This theory would be a great Black Mirror episode.
You know, I don't understand how conspiracy theories spread like wildfires. Like, whoever started it, like, it can't just be a fucking Joe Schmo starting this theory, you know? Because like, I could say the fucking it's raining outside, is fucking acid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Acid rain is a thing, though.
I could say it is.
Acid rain?
It's a thing?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's not as bad as you think it is right now.
Yeah.
But again, this is a science discussion. We're not doing a science episode right now. We're doing stupid conspiracy theories.
Well, it's like, okay, in 4 days, it's going to rain.
Just cats, no dogs.
Green acid.
Uh-huh.
As if Reptile was up in the air fucking just spitting on you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If I said that,
no one would know.
No one would even bat an eye, bro.
No, but I think, again, it just comes to like the virality of the internet. Like, anyone can go viral on the internet for anything. For every conspiracy theory we know, there's probably millions that are unheard of, you know?
Yeah.
There's probably one that's half of this stuff, and someone was like, I can make this more fucked up. And they just put it
together.
So
like a PB&J.
Yeah. But it's a blue bean jelly
beam
burrito.
Beam.
I know what I said. But there's a lot of stupid conspiracy theories out there, and I'm sure there's worse ones.
Yeah.
But which is funny, because I have some stupid conspiracy theories.
Yeah, some pretty crazy conspiracy theories.
So I'm gonna pull up this list, and I want to start with the Queen herself, Avril Lavigne, being replaced by a clone named Melissa. So this conspiracy started on a Brazilian fan website. Look, we got some history. We know where it started.
Brazilian.
And it claims that at the beginning of her career, Avril Lavigne used a body double whose name was Melissa. And apparently the singer passed away in 2003. But since Avril was really poppin', they decided to use Melissa as the new Avril Lavigne. The evidence that supports this is the sudden change of Avril's style. So the quote-unquote real Avril Lavigne was really punky, tomboyish, and everything. But the new Avril Lavigne has been more girly, more pink, lighter colors, not as much black and neckties around that aren't really on there. And some fans even believe there are clues in songs about Melissa becoming the new Avril Lavigne, such as the lyrics in the song Slip Away, where she sings, "The day you slipped away was the day I found it won't be the same." There's also a creepy photo of Avril where she has the name Melissa written on her hand. Weirdly enough, the conspiracy theory has more evidence than most of the other conspiracy theories on this list that we're going to read. And there's pictures here that are apparently Avril and Melissa. And there's differences, sure, but I really just think that she grew up. Yeah. But that's kind of, I've heard this one before. This one has come up plenty of times. Do you believe it? Could it be possible to, if someone real popular, like a singer, an actor, or whatever, just passed away randomly, and they could be replaced by a quote-unquote clone or a look-alike, which is what's most likely, right? A body double. Could it happen? Would it happen? Do you think people are that money hungry? I think people, if they could get away with it.
I think it is possible. But the same theory was going around about Paul McCartney, right?
Yeah. So I have that one right here. Actually.
Oh, that's the next one?
It's the next one. So this is the Paul is dead theory, and it claims that the Beatles' bass guitarist and vocalist passed away in 1969 and was replaced by a look-alike. It started with a rumor that McCartney had passed away in a traffic accident, and it later escalated into a theory that the band was trying to hide the fact that Paul is dead. What seemed to be a small theory became the theme of many articles in newspapers, and in 1993, McCartney joked about his theory in his live album titling it Paul is Live. Yeah. So this theory has a lot of I'm going off memory for some of this, so it's probably going to be wrong, but there's Beatles songs where if you're played and reversed, the lyrics sound like they say like Paul is dead, Paul was killed, things like that. And there's also something with like holding up the Sgt. Pepper's album cover to a mirror. It like does something weird with it and like changes something how it says. The fact that on Abbey Road Paul's not wearing shoes is something to do with like being closer to the ground, like he's dead kind of thing. And he's the only one where you can't really see his face or something. I don't know, dude. So again, you got two singers here, two vocalists, two pretty prominent people in like the history of music
being replaced
by doppelgangers.
Although how crazy that theory is, how sick would it be for the Beatles to come up to you and be like, unfortunately, our bassist has passed away, and you look dangerously close to what he looks like.
So we don't want to tell anybody.
Yeah, we would like for you to be a part of the most famous band in the fucking world. No thanks.
Like, if he just said no.
No. You mean have a whole career until I'm fucking 70 years old?
He's still going.
He's still going.
He's got a house here in Tucson.
Yeah.
Like, Paul
no
McCartney.
thanks.
Paul McCartney, if you're out there listening, come on the podcast. We want to ask you about it.
We believe ya.
We believe you. But switching it up from like celebrity doppelgangers, this one was really funny when I found it. But it could also be kind of dark. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
So April is the government's blood sacrifice season.
Okay.
So this comes from the fact that people have noticed, oddly enough, a huge amount of tragedies happen during the month of April. According to these people, April is actually the government's blood sacrifice season, and during this month, the government performs sacrifices to the demon god Baal, Baal, and then later disguises these sacrifices as tragedies.
Right.
Since many tragedies tend to happen around the same time in mid-April, even CNN has published an article questioning this tragic and unexplainable coincidence. Weirdly enough, mid-April has been the period of sacrifice through many civilizations. And the cult of Baal used to worship their god of sun and fertility by sacrificing humans by fire. Conspiracy theorists believe that this horrible tradition is continued by the government in the form of gunfires, explosions, and lots of death.
Jeez.
Do you think this could be?
No. Not at all.
So now I'm like, I should have looked up tragedies that happen in April and see what kind of things happen. But like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, if it's true, fuck.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, dude. That's
but also,
pretty wild.
Tax season in April. Taxes are due.
Oh. Good time to spill blood, dude.
So we'll just do a couple quick ones here. So Prince Charles is a vampire. Probably. Probably. The moon does not exist.
Okay.
So it's a
Death Star.
It's just a conspiracy theory that the moon does not exist and is only a hologram created to fool everyone on Earth. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Stonehenge was built by aliens.
And they're whole people.
The whole people.
You know what I'm saying?
The whole people?
Like there's more of the statue under the ground.
Yeah, the Easter Island. Those are the toes of the Easter Island statues.
Mm-hmm.
Phantom time hypothesis. Do you know this one?
No.
So this conspiracy theory was first published in 1991 and states that 297 years of our history didn't exist.
Huh. That's cool.
So the author of the conspiracy believes that the events from 6/14 to 9/11 have been faked. And that includes the entire Carolingian period and the figure Charlemagne. Charlemagne. No, there's only one L. I should have read this ahead of time. Charlemagne. But anyways,
it's Charlemagne. I swear.
I don't know.
I'm gonna look it up.
So one of the reasons that the author doesn't believe these 297 years actually took place is the scarcity of archaeological evidence from that period of time. Mm-hmm. Even though many people believe this theory, no distinct reason why anyone would be interested in adding those years. Historians rejected the proposals. So there was just apparently just portions of time that were just fabricated, just made up on the spot, just added to textbooks.
Charlemagne.
Duh. That's what I said the whole time.
Charlemagne.
That's what we said.
Former Holy Roman Emperor.
I really feel like, though, it was spelled incorrectly
Charlemagne.
here. So.
Right.
Um,
Sorry.
You're good.
No, it's spelled
Just give me this one. I'm trying to.
CHARLEMAJ.
I read it wrong.
J.
I read it
G-N-E.
wrong. I read it wrong, and I'm trying to cover up. Okay.
Okay, dude. All right. It's spelled wrong.
It's spelled wrong in the article.
Spelled wrong.
Invasion of the Lizard People. Shout out to that lady on the airplane who thought she was sitting next to a lizard person.
Yeah.
If you want to come on the podcast,
Come on over.
Come on over.
To Peter Piper Pizza. That lizard conspiracy theory has honestly like sparked my interest so many times.
Yeah.
That I'm like, why am I reading this shit? You know, like.
But like, it's so funny and it's kind of fun. But I also
like,
just
what
think
if?
of the aliens from Doctor Who.
Yeah.
What's their
I don't remember their
race? It's been a
species.
long time since I watched Doctor Who.
But it's like, what if? You know.
What if? I think we're coming up on the end of the list here. So the last one we're going to talk about is that Elvis Presley is still alive. These kind of conspiracy theories were like someone important who died at a young age, or
Michael Jackson's
or
still
just
alive.
died in general.
Elvis is still alive.
Hitler's chilling in Brazil.
Yeah.
Like those kind of things. Like I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
No.
If they wanted to get out of the spotlight, there could have been less gory ways to do it, I guess. Like less traumatizing ways for their fans, for their families, things like that.
But these people who die
Mm-hmm.
are huge.
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, if you give them the benefit of the doubt, if they are still alive, it could have been just way hard
Yeah.
to get out of that spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if they're just like super overwhelmed.
I
And
get
like
it.
with like for instance, Elvis, you know, he started drinking a lot, started performing drunk, started performing badly,
He
started
did
losing
start
a lot of
making
money.
good sandwiches, though.
But it's like, okay, like he is in a downward spiral.
Mm-hmm.
How do we get out of this, out of the spotlight, and not have to ever do this again
Yeah.
without worrying about
Anything.
anything? Yeah,
Yeah.
like trying to like people please or fucking explain or do this or
Yeah.
do that.
Because, like, people...
Die on the toilet.
Yeah, I was going to say. I feel like even, like, actors or politicians or just famous people in general, they quit, they retire, they whatever, they still get bombarded.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to know how, like, the old retired actor is doing after not making a movie for 15 years.
And then bombard them on trying to come back.
And then
When are you going to make another film?
Or, you know, they go to a retreat and they, like, paparazzi stalks them, and then it turns out that they were a fucking werewolf, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Just a callback to the last episode.
Yeah.
2 episodes ago?
I don't even know. I feel like it's 3 at this point.
And that episode came out, like, the episode of the show that I mentioned came out a long time ago.
Right.
But yeah, dude, like, I get it, but also I really don't think these specific people are still alive.
Nah.
They're too big to still be alive and not have anyone know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's just me. What's the weirdest conspiracy theory you've heard of lately? Besides the blue beams.
The blue beam.
That's the hardest one.
project.
It's the craziest one.
That one's pretty crazy, dude.
Yeah, but again, it just sounds like a video game or a movie or something, like.
Yeah.
And going back to, like, the sandwich thing, where it's like, it just sounds like someone said part of it, and then someone with a little more influence added some more.
Yes. One of the crazy ones, speaking of celebrities who are dead that are still alive, Michael Jackson apparently is still alive,
Mhm.
and he's this guy who is like all burnt up from like the time that he burned himself on fucking stage. And have you heard that one?
Yeah.
And he's like coming on and doing interviews and shit. And I'm like, who is this guy?
Yeah, right.
You know, but it's like apparently that's Michael Jackson. That's what Michael Jackson would have looked like if he wasn't wearing fucking makeup or fake skin or whatever the fuck.
I don't know, dude. Like we said at the beginning, conspiracy theories are fun because they break up the monotony and the like mundane of our everyday lives.
Conspiracy theories are fun because, you know, it's something different from our everyday life. You know what I mean?
But just like every episode of this podcast is a little bit different. Sometimes we do the same thing twice.
Right.
Or 3 times. Or 7 times, like when we did those Marvel breakdowns. But for conspiracy theories, like let us know in the comments below, or direct messages, or threads, or if you ever see us live on Twitch. Oh, by the way, I set up our Twitch channel.
Sick.
So we can we can go live at any time.
Sweet.
Not anytime soon.
But at any
But
time.
at any time. I might go on there eventually. By myself, without you.
Well.
So it's just BJ in the morning _ on Twitch as well. So if you want to go follow us ahead of time, before we start doing any kind of like live podcast episodes, anytime I make Juan play video games that I know he's not good at because he doesn't play video games, but also if we play like scary games together, I think it'd be really funny.
Ooh, yeah.
And just anything. We can do anything on Twitch, basically, except be boring.
Just
awesome. Thanks for your 10 seconds of silence on an audio podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to follow us on any social media that you have.
Yeah.
Instagram is
at BJ in the morning _
TikTok is
at BJ in the morning _
YouTube is
BJ in the morning podcast.
Twitch
BJ in the morning _
That's about it. That's all we got right now.
Reddit
BJ
in the morning.
We still have the r/BJ in the morning podcast. If you ever want to follow us there. We really haven't been active on it too much. But let's change that.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
We're on Threads too. Just if you're on Threads, I think that kind of died off. I don't really hear anybody talking about it.
Yeah. It's all right. Like,
I guess it's all right.
I get like 2 to 0 likes on my fucking Threads.
It's either 2 or 0.
Yeah.
And one of them's probably me, and the other one's from the BJ in the morning account.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for listening to Weird Conspiracy Theories with BJ in the morning.
I'm Juan.
I'm Brendan.
And we'll talk to you next time. Peace.